Now that we have completed global entitlements, we'll go and create memberships. What are memberships? Memberships are basically a way to manage the organization memberships for people. We can add organizations here, manage their memberships. Uh, we can also provide membership types, membership chapters, membership categories, and then based on that data, people can get their memberships and get add-ons, answer certain questions so that they can be part of that organization. And once that organization hosts an event, there's possibility of getting special prices for members, and it can also host the event. Now let's go and create a membership. There are two types of memberships, managed and unmanaged. If we want to manage the organization's memberships through Currinda, we can click on the managed one. If we just want to represent our organization on Currinda without managing the memberships, we'll just click on unmanaged. Let's create a membership first. Now we can create a membership short name, which is actually the organization's short name. Let's say it is CUR, short for Currinda, and let's say the membership long name is Currinda. Now what does this private mean? If this is checked, it means that the organization will not appear if anyone logs into Currinda and they're not able to find this organization. However, if this is left unchecked, anyone can find this organization and be a part of it. And checking this manage membership list checkbox enables the membership, which basically controls the managed and unmanaged parts. However, if we leave this unmanaged, we'll just be adding a profile picture and a cover picture for the organization, and that will be it. However, we'll create a full-fledged organization with full membership support. So let's untick this private for now and tick this manage membership list. Upon ticking the manage membership list, it gives us a host of other options to fill in. The primary admin, which will be the primary admin for this organization. Let's search for Mike. So it's showing Mike Pickford. I'll add Mike Pickford. And then we have the contact name here, which could be different than the admin. Let's say the name is Abdul, and then the email of the contact person, let's say abdul@currinda.com, and let's insert a contact phone number for Abdul. Okay, now let's insert the contact address. Let's say it's 12 Sample Street, Melbourne, and then we can set the same as post address by copying and pasting. Let's also insert a pin code here because it's the post address. Let's suppose the pin code is 123456. We can also insert the contact website here. Let's say it is currinda.com. Contact fax, let's say it's also a sample number. And then this is an interesting field, subscription ends, which is a fallback for all of the subscriptions or the memberships that we'll be handing out if in a case we do not have any fallbacks. This will be the final fallback. Once we go deeper into the organization setups, I'll explain in detail. Memberships require pre-approval. So what this essentially means is when a membership requires pre-approval, an administrator must check the membership before the member can make payments for their selected membership items and add-ons. So let's keep this unchecked. CPD points. If you want to enable CPD points for any actions done inside the membership, we'll enable it, and disable member access to CPD. We can also do that, but we'll not do that. Let's click on next and continue. Now we are on the financial details page. Here we'll be setting up all of the financial details related to the organization. Let's start with the currency first. We can set up Australian dollars, New Zealand dollars, USD, euros, and the rest of the currencies. Let's say it's Australian dollars. Tax amount is set to percentage. Let's say it is 5%. Bank accounts. I already told you about bank accounts that can be added from here. Miscellaneous settings. We can click on bank accounts and find the bank accounts, create bank accounts, also manage them, delete them. We also have the functionality to select a bank account from here, or if our bank account is not listed, we can click on add button here and create our own bank account. You can also see the rest of the bank accounts are also listed here. We can check the details, and once we click select on one of the accounts, it will be selected. Let's say we select the Urogynecological Society for Queensland. Let's say select this one. Now it's selected. Risky bank account. So whenever a user is marked as risky, or a delegate is marked risky, or a member is marked risky, any payment they do, we want to separate that from the main payments because it's marked as risky, so we might have to return it. So in that case, we set up a different bank account so that that money goes into a risky bank account. Let's say we set it to Urogynecological Society of Australia Limited. Okay, now sub account, this is already explained in the previous video where we are adding the bank accounts. We can just add a string which will be embedded onto the invoices as is explained in this tooltip. This forms the first part of the invoice number EV1-1001 and will optionally be added onto the end of the bank account name, my bank account name -EV1. So let's say it's CUR. This is pre-filled from the short name of the organization. Payment gateway. Now we have already talked about payment gateways which are configured from here, miscellaneous settings. However, we can also add a payment gateway right from here, or select an existing payment gateway right from here, or we can click on the drop down and also select our payment gateway which we have configured. Let's say it's ASN Secure Pay. Now we have payment option details. What options we are giving to the delegates or members, not actually delegates, members. So what options are being given to members for their payments? We are giving credit card, pay by direct deposit, pay by invoice, and pay by check. If we uncheck any of these will not be appearing in the payment section for the members, which we'll be demonstrating a bit later. Let's keep them on. Let's also check pay by invoice. Invoice name is going to be Currinda. We can set up an accounts email which will be visible in the invoice. Let's say Mike. Okay, test 35. Let's say it's a sample account. Now this is a tricky field. We can search, and this will also be searching through the names of the users since this is a test environment, so we'll be getting different results. Tax jurisdiction is Australia. We can also add a business number here. Let's say it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, this is just a sample number. Invoice due text. We can also add a text that is going to appear on the invoice. Let's say please make sure this is paid latest by 1st January 2026. We can also get a sample preview of the invoice. looks like this. As you can see, we've already added the bank details which are available here, and also the invoice note is visible here. Let's close this. We can also add an alternate payment link. For example, if we want someone to pay directly on a payment gateway or separate payment place, we can add a link here. Let's say that website's link is fast.com, which is a sample website. Okay, now credit card. If we have enabled credit cards, we can charge a fee for them, because generally merchants do pay a bit of fees for the credit cards. So let's say it's 1% of the normal credit cards, and if we are enabling the American Express cards, we generally charge more. Let's say yes, we can charge a bit more. Let's keep it 4%. Now if you can see this tooltip, please note that Amex needs to be configured separately at your payment gateway. This setting will make Amex cards able to be processed through Currinda. However, there may be an error if it's not configured, so we need to keep that in mind. Now, payment page text. This text will appear on the payment page of the member. Let's say, please make sure to pay entire amounts in one go for the process to be really fast. This could be anything depending on your use case. Once we've added the payment page text, we can go down a bit further and we can see that we can add legal documents here, which will be the terms and conditions, privacy policy, and refund policy. We can add JPG, PNG files, and we can also add PDF or docx files. Let's explore some of the files. Let's say it is this. This is just for sample purposes. We'll be attaching the same document over and over. So once we enable the discount, we'll be able to add the discount codes. There's a table here, so we can click on add discount code. Let's say the discount code is New Year and the discount amount is 100. Now what happens is when you insert a discount code, it also checks in the database if this code is available and if it has been availed before. If this code has been availed before, it will give an error. Now the discount amount is 100 and we'll also add the quantity. Let's say we're giving 10 discount codes of this, and then the description in New Year offer for joining the Currinda. Date range. This will establish that this coupon or the discount code remains available for a range of time and not permanently. Let's say this is available from today as of this recording. Let's say it's available till 5th of January 2026 and the time zone is Melbourne. And we click on add. Now once we click on next, all of this gets saved. Now as you can see, we have three things here. We are filling in the membership details, information about chapters, categories, and types. Membership chapters. Enabling this, we can add a membership chapter. Let's say it's a sample chapter. Let's call it chapter 1. This is added. Let's call it membership categories. Let's say the Currinda has support teams. Let's say this is for the support team. So let's create a category for the support team. We can also sort them by a given number. Let's just skip it for now. Now we can also add another membership category, which will be development team. Description, we can fill in a description. This is for development team of Currinda. And there's this checkbox called hidden. If this category is hidden, this will not be directly available for the members to be able to see. However, people can join this via a link if this category is attached to a membership type. We'll click on add for now. We don't want it to be hidden. Now, clicking on membership types will check this and the membership types get enabled. However, there's something worth noting, that membership chapters and categories in itself are not enough for memberships. People buy membership types or join membership types which are associated with categories and also chapters. Let's create a membership type here and you'll know what I mean. Let's say the name of the membership type is front-end developer. And we select the membership category. Let's say it's the development team. Now we have something called here the selection availability. What happens is, if I keep this membership type always available, it means that if someone purchased this membership, next year when they come back, this membership type is again available to them. And if anyone else also comes for the first time to get this membership, they will have this membership type available. However, if I set it to renewing, what happens is this membership type won't be available for the first time users, which means if someone wants to get a membership for the first time, this membership type won't be available for them and won't be visible to them. And similarly, if we choose new, which means that if someone is joining the membership for the first time, this membership type will be available to them. However, if after a year their membership expires, they won't be able to renew with the same membership type. They will have a different type. For now, for ease of access, we'll be keeping it always available. We can fill in a description. Let's say membership type for front-end developers. We can set up a cost for this. Let's say it's 10. Let's say the joining fee is 0, or we can set it to 5. Please note, on setting anniversary expiry to no current PD expiry date becomes mandatory. So what this means is, if I'm setting an anniversary expiry, then the date of membership joining would be the same date that they will have to renew the membership. Now, if I set this to no, in that case, we'll have to fill in the current period expiry date. For example, if someone joins on 1st January 2026 and their current period expiry date is set to, let's say, June 2026, then their membership will expire on this date. However, if we are not filling anything, not this, in that case, we have filled in a subscription date on the initial page when we were setting up the membership. That is the fallback, right? And when we are setting the duration, we are basically setting the duration for this membership. Let's say we want to keep this membership directly for 3 years, so we'll be typing in 3, and this membership will be 3 years long, and then it would expire. So actually this is the first preference is given to anniversary expiry, second would be the current period expiry date, and if we have a duration, that is the fallback for if these two don't exist. However, if we fill in not this, not this, and not this, then we have the subscription ends as a fallback. Let's say, let's keep it 0 for now, and let's set up a current period expiry date to um, 1st February. Child limit. This is in respect to corporate. If we are setting up a corporate membership, there's ability to add child corporate accounts, child corporate memberships. So we can set a limit to it. Let's say we set the limit to 5. In that case, when we add a corporate membership, the corporate will be able to add 5 sub members to them. They'll not be able to add more than 5. So since we are not setting up a corporate membership here, let's skip this one. Voting. What voting does is basically, if we check this checkbox, it appears as it says a voting membership type. So this generally doesn't include a cost and is usually used to determine if one person or one organization gets more votes for or against it. That is the purpose of voting. So let's not jump into it. We can keep this membership type tax free. We can click on tax free, and then this will remain tax free. We can click on this checkbox to make it for students. This membership type will be available for students. If someone is not a student, this membership type won't be visible for them. Searchable. This is an option for the association search app, which we are not currently thinking about. Which this is the option for the association search app, which we are not currently catering to. Corporate. As I already told you, if this is a corporate membership, there's further options of adding child memberships and more. Private. If we keep this private, then this membership won't be publicly available for the users. There will be a link they will have to follow, then this membership type would be available for them. Let's not keep this private. Let's create another one to keep it private. Let's click on add for now. Now let's create a private membership. Let's say if it's database developer, let's say development team, selection availability, always available. Let's skip all of this. Let's keep the cost to $5. Let's skip the joining fee, keep it as 0 or just leave it. The current period expiry date, let's leave it as it is and keep this to no and keep it private. If we click on add, now you can see this has a separate link to join. This is a normal link which anyone will be able to join. However, this is a private link. Now if we click on next, we can see the add-ons after this. Add-ons. Now if we want to give an add-on with a membership type, we can do that from here. However, since add-ons also have categories, let's say it is about some benefits we're going to give. Let's say we'll create an add-on page. Let's give it a name surplus benefits and add a description to it. Let's say benefits of joining the organization. This benefits word actually doesn't cater to our need. However, this is for sample purposes, just for showing. So let's say the add-on is locked on 31st January. After this, no one will be able to change their add-on preferences or their add-on details after this date. if anyone purchased a membership type and also purchased an add-on, they'll not be able to change after 31st January for this particular add-on page. We can select the time zone, let's say it is Melbourne, and click on add. Now you can see we have the surplus benefits page active. We'll also add another page, let's say extra add-ons, and let's keep the add-on locked. We can skip it, we can skip this one. We can set the, if we are skipping this one, we do not need to fill the time zone. Let's click on add. Now we have two pages, extra add-ons and surplus benefits. Let's say we want to add an extra add-on for this organization. Let's say the add-on name is Netflix subscription. The type, let's say it's standalone or quantity. Okay, so let me explain this one. If we are setting up an add-on as quantity, it means that if one member of the organization picks this add-on, the person will be able to take multiple quantities of this add-on, more than one. One person can purchase 5 Netflix subscriptions for this one. For example, I'm giving an example of Netflix subscription. If I set it as quantity and set a max quantity, let's say I'm setting up a quantity of 100 and I set this up as quantity, any person coming and buying this add-on will be able to purchase up to the max available quantity at that point in time. For example, person 1 purchased 5 of Netflix subscriptions, then the next person, the max the next person can do is 95 because of 100 minus 5. So if I keep it as standalone, it means that the person will be able to get just one Netflix subscription and the rest of the people can get the rest, right? We can also fill in the description for this. Netflix subscription is available with this package or the membership type. Sorry, this add-on. Now we can go on. We can choose a logo for this add-on. We filled in the quantity, explained the quantity. There's a default cost involved. We can set the default cost as 10 because we are able to manipulate the costs later based on the membership type. We can keep this as admin only. If we keep this as admin only, only the admins would be able to see this add-on and not the users. We can also make this GST free. However, we do not want to do any of this. We'll create a CPD category. We do not want to do that either. Then this is the CPD category. We do not need to fill it right now. We can fill in the CPD points also. We can also set a current period expiry date for add-ons as well. And similarly, the logic is similar to the duration and the fallbacks. So let's keep it as it is. Let's not fill in these details so that the fallback would be the subscription end. And the add-on page, since we have extra add-ons and surplus benefits, we have two pages. So we can select one of them. Let's say this is a surplus benefit, or let's say it's extra add-ons first, and then we can associate it to a particular membership type. Let's say this is only available to front-end developers. All right, so let's click on add. Now this got added, and we can also add a add-on in the surplus benefits. Let's say it gives us the ability to host dinner. Let's say participation in event dinners. Let's say it's a standalone add-on. We can add in a description here. Members will have free dinners at each event hosted by the organization. And then we can also add a logo to this, which is not necessary, so we can fill in a quantity. If we do not fill in the quantity, it means the quantity is unlimited. So let's keep it unlimited for now. Let's keep the cost capped at $50. Let's the sort key basically defines which in which order the add-ons appear. So if we're skipping this, then it will follow the chronological order. Now I explained admin only and GST free and these fields, so let's keep them as they are. And add-on pages surplus benefits, let's select the membership type. This is only available to front-end developers, let's say. So let's click on add, and now we have two add-ons, participation in event dinners, and another one. If we click on extra add-ons, we have Netflix subscription. Now if we want to manipulate the costs according to membership types, we can do that here. So we can see we only made add-ons for the development team. We set the default cost for participation in event dinners as $50. We can manipulate this and set it to $60. And now the $60 would be available for all of the front-end developers. However, Netflix subscription would still cost you 10 Australian dollars. Alright, let's move forward. Let's go next. Then we have the custom questions section. What are custom questions? These are the questions we set up to ask the user or the member joining in the organization so that we can get a clarity on something. For example, if we ask a question, let's say we are asking if the member is available to volunteer in all of the events to be hosted by the organization. Are you available to volunteer as a speaker at all of the events hosted by this organization? Now this will be a yes or no question. We can also add a bit of description to it if the question is not so descriptive. The question, we have several answer types here. Our answer types could be a simple text, it could be a yes no, it could be a multiple choice question, it could be a drop down box, it could be a checked box list, it could be a score, and we can also ask them to upload certain documents, or it could be a simple heading. For this one, yes no should suffice, and in that case there's no answer limit type, answer length, and there's a default selection box which ensures that if we are selecting yes, if we want yes to be pre-selected, then we type in yes here, as is explained in the tooltip. This will be pre-selected. Ensure you use the same format as in the options. We just need to make sure that we write the same thing with the proper letters. We can associate these with certain membership categories or membership types or membership add-ons. If we associate this with a category or a membership type, this will appear right when the user is going to select their membership type. However, if we select this for an add-on, this will appear on their add-on page. For example, if we wanted to ask something related to Netflix, will you watch a certain TV show on this add-on? So we'll be associating this with the add-on. However, if we want something related to the membership type, we can ask the question here, we can set the membership type here. However, we do not want any we do not want it to associate it with any data with the membership types or add-ons, so we'll leave it as it is. We can also add an image to the question. We can make it mandatory, make it admin only. If we make it admin only, then this will not be available for the normal users. It will not be visible to them. And make admin reachable, this makes it reachable to the admins. Now if we click on add, this question gets added. We'll jump a deep dive into this question, custom questions section later on. Let's click on add for now. Now you can see there this is the table and we have the custom question appearing here. Let's click on next. Now you can see we have organization banner and logo images. We can add our banner and logo images that will then appear on our dashboard. Let's not do that right now. Let's click on submit and finish the setup. You can see this is the dashboard for this organization. Thank you.